I'm Dr. Dean St. Mart, formulator for supplement needs, and in this video we're going to talk about Astrag Flow. Astrag Flow is a supplement that's been designed to specifically aid kidney and blood pressure. It's a highly dosed astragalus product which also then contains goldenrod, hawthorn berry and beetroot extract, which when all combined together helps to reduce total blood volume and aid in lowering blood pressure. So why do we create Astrag Flow? Well, when we look at enhanced bodybuilders, one of the biggest issues or silent killers is actually high blood pressure, and that puts a severe stress on the glomeruli of our kidneys. Those are the components of our kidneys that actually filter our blood. And when we have high blood pressure, you can imagine it would be like spraying a high-powered hose at a spider web. You just disintegrate it to pieces. So if you think about it, when your blood pressure is very high, you're having to force that blood through at greater speed through those glomeruli, which over time can again tear into the structure and reduce kidney function. So ultimately, we want to make sure that we're controlling our blood pressure, whether we are enhanced bodybuilders or even as natural bodybuilders. Your blood pressure can still get elevated. So Astrag Flow, as I said, is a 4-ingredient product. Within it we have 8,000 milligrams of astragalus. This is unrivaled within the supplement industry, and we felt it necessary to go to that clinical dose of astragalus in order to see benefit. Those benefits, again, the mechanism of astragalus is quite unknown in how it actually works. It's based off Chinese medicine, but if we look at what it actually does within blood work, it helps to reduce creatinine from the blood. So in theory, it could be possibly chelating creatinine out of blood, so it takes some pressure off the kidneys having to filter it. Creatinine is a byproduct of creatine metabolism. Then we have 500 milligrams of goldenrod. So goldenrod, or known as horsetail, it's a natural diuretic or astringent. So again, what we're doing there is trying to remove some of that excess fluid from our blood, which could be contributing to a higher blood pressure. We then have a synergism between beetroot extract and hawthorn berry. So if we take hawthorn berry by itself, we don't really see much of a difference to blood pressure. And that's the beauty when we look at the literature. When we combine beetroot extract, where the main component is beta vulgaris, with hawthorn berry, which is a rich source of arginine, we see a vasodilative effect, and that helps to again expand our blood vessels and drop our blood pressure. So how do we end up with high blood pressure? Well, at the very top, genetics. We have an enzyme known as ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme, and what that does is it converts to angiotensin converting. ACE converts to ACE2, and ACE2's job in the body as an enzyme is to vasoconstrict, to constrict our blood vessels. So if you can imagine, you're creating a smaller space and it has to generate a higher pressure in order to push that blood through. So that's genetic. As we age, we end up with more ACE receptors in our body, and again, more potential for ACE to go out of control. In that case, you may have to take a pharmaceutical ACE inhibitor to stop that conversion, or an ACE receptor blocker known as an ARB. That may be unfortunately inevitable. Now what we could do is, from a natural perspective, look at what are some of the root causes that cause higher blood pressure. First off, cellular hydration. We need to ensure that we're getting adequate amounts of electrolytes so that the fluid balance between intracellular and extracellular fluid is balanced. So we're looking at sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. That way we're going to control the shift of fluid. Let's also not forget to mention the effects of hormones, specifically sex hormones, testosterone and estradiol. They're going to yield higher mineral retention in our blood, which again is going to skew that electrolyte balance. So we may need to have to control our testosterone and estradiol values. And finally, we have an enzyme known as eNOS, endothelial nitric oxide synthetase. So eNOS's job in the body is to convert citrulline to arginine, and in the process generate nitric oxide. That generation of nitric oxide again is a vasodilator, so it's going to expand your blood vessels. A lack of enos, or again we may have genetic issues in enos, may cause you to create less nitric oxide in the body. So it's important that we're supporting this enos enzyme with adequate amounts of citrulline and arginine. When we look at how Astrag Flow works to aid kidney and blood pressure, like I said, it helps to lower creatinine, so we're taking stress off the kidneys. It helps to control blood volume through the diuretic actions of goldenrod. And then we're adding in 2 vasodilators to expand the blood vessels. So all around what you're doing there is taking stress away from the kidneys by lowering your blood pressure, which again could lead to longevity of life because we're protecting the kidneys from excess pressure. Now, when we look at blood work, specifically kidney function, we're looking at 3 main things. Those are creatinine, so again how much creatinine is in your serum blood. That can be used to calculate what's known as the eGFR, the estimated glomerular filtration rate. And also we can use another marker known as cystatin C, which is independent of creatinine, to assess kidney function. The issue with creatinine towards calculating your eGFR is that creatinine is a byproduct of creatine metabolism. So if you're ingesting creatine as a supplement, it's going to increase the creatinine value. And also a byproduct of muscle breakdown is creatinine also. So if you train heavy the day before your blood test, your creatinine may be elevated in response to your training. So what you may want to do there is actually take 5 days rest before you check your kidney function in order to look at a baseline outside of training. So that's Astrag Flow. I hope you got some nice tips and understand how the product was developed to support your kidney and blood pressure. I'm Dr. Dean St. Mart, formulator for supplement needs, and thank you for listening.